Hi everyone, it's Leona with Leona's Designs, and I am here with week 26 of the Slow Stitch with K3N. And this week we are doing a Quilt As You Go Hexagon. And I'm sorry if I sound a little froggy. I am fighting a cold. I came down with a cold a few days ago, and at first I thought it was just allergies because the allergies are really bad here where I live. But as time went on, I realized it was a good old cold. So I'm kind of stuffy and probably sound worse than I feel. But I've just been staying inside the house and eating chicken noodle soup and taking vitamins and trying to get over this thing because it is summer and I don't want to be stuck in the house. I want to be outside enjoying the sunshine and the beautiful flowers and the nature and everything that summer includes. But it also gives me time to do some slow stitching. And today I'm going to try to do that. I think I'm feeling well enough to tackle this project. So this is what I'm planning to do. I made some templates. K3N told us on her channel how we could draw our own hexagon template, but I didn't attempt to do that. Excuse me. I just went online and looked for some free hexagon templates, and I found one that said it was 4 inches. Actually, it's 4.5 inches. Guess they allowed for some seam allowance. So I printed 2 of those out, and this is the 4.5 inch one, which I cut my center out of, and my batting. And then I took that 4.5 and I added a 5/8 seam allowance onto it, so it measures 6 inches. And that's what I have for my backing, because we need to turn over the backing after we complete our center. And the center is a circle. I had a template here for a 2.5 inch circle that I had cut out of cardboard. I probably used a bottle cap or a jar lid or something to create this. So those are my templates. And the thread I'm using is cotton thread that I got at a yard sale from a friend. I guess she had been using these as crochet yarn, but I'm going to try using this for the slow stitch. So what K3N showed us was he used this back side of this backing material, and then we take our center material with the batting and we pin down our circle to it. We do some stitching on there, which I'll show you. Then after we're done with the center, we take this backing fabric and we fold it down twice on each edge, and then we stitch that down to the center. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to set this backing aside, and I'm going to pin this circle in the middle as well as I can visualize it. I'm using material that was given to me. I had a big box of material given to me by some neighbors. They had gone to a yard sale and they bought this gigantic tote full of all kinds of material, full lengths and remnants and scraps, just tons of material for $5. So they split between them what they wanted to keep, and they gave me the leftovers, which was still a big giant box. And so I'm going through that, trying to pick out what I can use. And then what I can't use, I'm going to donate to an area charity shop or someone I know who quilts. But, excuse me, I hope I don't cough too much. I was coughing a lot last night, and I didn't get much sleep last night. So I'm kind of sleepy, but I'm going to try doing this project because it is Saturday here, and Catherine will be starting a new project on Monday. So hopefully I can work on this and get it done before Monday. So what I'm going to do now, what she showed us, was she basted her circle down, but I've got it pinned down, and I think that's probably going to be enough. She said we could probably put some glue if we wanted to, or baste it, but I'm just going to pin it. And then what she was doing was doing the feather stitch all around the edge, which, if I remember how to do the feather stitch, I will try to do. And so I think you come up a 1/4 inch outside of the circle, and you go in a 1/4 inch on the inside of the circle, kind of matching up where you came up, and then you leave a loop, and then you come up right on the edge of the circle, a little bit down where you went in, I think. This is what I'm doing anyway. And then when you pull the thread, it makes a V. And then you just keep doing that all around. And you kind of stagger it. Now, for the next one, you would let's see, you would go in right on the edge, and you would come up over here, I think. Hopefully this is right. And you would hold your loop. And you would come up a little below. And we'll see, whoops. See what happens. Well, what happened wasn't right. So, obviously, I'm really not remembering the feather stitch. I'm gonna have to pull that out and start over. I was practicing it and all was going well. So I'm not quite sure what I did wrong there. Well, we'll try it again. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Come up here on the 1/4 inch on the outside and go in a 1/4 inch on the inside. keep my loop, come in just a little below, right on the edge, and I have my V. Now I'm going to do the same thing, I guess. Just going to keep doing the same thing. Coming up, up. See, that's where I made my problem. I was coming up the wrong place. Don't do what I do. Let's rethread my needle. Guess if you're a beginner, you can commiserate with me. When learning a new stitch, it's not always easy. Okay, so I came up, I went down, I came out, and now I have to go in here, 1/4 of an inch away from the circle. Oh, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I need to go back in top of this V to secure it down. And then I come up here, go down here, make a loop, come up, and there we go. And then after you make your V, you just go back over the V and go back down. So you're just making little V's all the way around. I think. That's what I'm doing anyway, so hopefully it's right. That one I didn't tack down right. Anyway, if that's not the proper feather stitch, I apologize, but that's how I'm doing it, and I would suggest you go watch K3N to see how she does it, or look up someone else on the internet to see how they do the fly stitch, or not the fly stitch. It's so much like the fly stitch. Just look up how to do feather stitch. I've done it before, but it was in a straight line, so I think this is kind of causing me to have a little anxiety because I'm going around a circle instead of doing a straight line. And this thread isn't really showing up that well. Hopefully my material's not moving. I think maybe I should pin it down a little better. Anyway, I'm sure it's not hard stitch. I've done it before and it was very beautiful. And it wasn't hard. So I don't want to mislead you into thinking it's something hard. I do suggest you go try it. Try it and see, because it is a beautiful stitch. And I'm probably going to do 2 rows of it because it's not really showing up that well. Might do another color. That one I didn't tack down good. I'll have to go back and get that. But I'm just going to continue going around like that. And I'll be back after I do this first round. Okay, well, I actually went back and took out those stitches previously, and I just stitched around the dark part of the circle. And I did like a fly stitch. I didn't really do the feather stitch, but I like how it looks. So I think what I'm going to do now is do the same thing around the outside of the circle, only with this darker thread. And it's 3 strands of embroidery floss. And I'm just going to, I think, do the fly stitch. I'm not sure why I am having so much trouble doing the feather stitch, because I've done it before. But I'm not going to keep trying to do that, because first of all, I don't want to bore you guys, and let's see, I think if I go down here, oops, and then I come up here, go down here, and go down here, and just keep going around. And that is, I think, the fly stitch. Or it's the Leona's fly stitch. I like it anyway. I'm just going to go around doing that, whatever stitch it is, and I will be back and start doing French knots. Well, I'm coming back because I don't know if I invented a new stitch. Probably not, but all those little fly stitches I did, or Y stitches, I guess, maybe you could call them, I decided to go back and fill in by connecting the empty spaces with thread, and it's kind of looking like a flower. So I'm just gonna continue doing that. I'm just coming up where one leg of the Y ended, and going back in at the bottom of this other Y, and just connecting all the way around, and they're making it look like a little flower. So I don't really have a name for this stitch, but I'm happy with it, and I think it looks good. So I just thought I'd share it with you if you want to try it. It's not hard to do. You just come in, go down, make your V a little ways down, and then just secure it with a little leg down and start a new one. And then go back and connect them all. And who knew? That's the fun of slow stitching. You can just try different things and sometimes just randomly stitch and come up with something very pretty that you like. So I'm just going to keep climbing up. And going down until they're all connected. And then we'll see what we got. I think I'm going to start doing French knots on some of them. Catherine did French knots on her feather stitches, and they were so pretty. This one here is a little wonky. I'm going to connect it there. I think it turned out pretty. So now I'm going to tie this off and decide what color I want my French knots. I could iron it down a little bit. And maybe since this is kind of a creamy white, I might do the French knots in a creamy white, which I have to find. Don't think I have any on my table, so I will be back. Okay, I found some. It's called Ecru. It's kind of a creamy white. So I'm just going to go around the center here where these legs of the V are, and I'm just going to make some French knots. I think 3. Three rounds on the needle. And just keep doing that. These French knots are something that I finally learned how to do. Just getting them in the right place. Oh, I'm just going to go around doing that, and I'll be back. Okay, I got the French knots done. I think they look pretty good. And now I think comes the hard part, I think, is where you got to fold this backing over onto your piece and stitch it down. And Catherine did a invisible basting stitch, I think. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I might do just a running stitch in that color so it doesn't show. So I think I have that color right here. And first we have to pin it down now. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it over right. First I'm going to pin this down. So it doesn't move on me. Put a couple more pins in. And then we're going to fold it down just this part, just so it meets this edge, and then fold it over again and pin it. And I think the tricky part is going to be these little corners. Not sure, but it kind of looks like it will. So right here I'm folding this down to meet this edge, and this fabric is kind of stiff. And now I'm going to fold it over again. And pin it. And so far that corner looks okay. Hopefully they'll all be that easy. Just keep folding over and over. And pinning. And we'll see what we got. And whether I can stitch through it. Ouch. Oops. That corner started popping up. Okay, just 2 more to go. Fold down. And down again. And pin. And one more. Just trying to keep this laying flat. Doesn't seem like it's folding in right. There. lots of pins. That's hopefully what the finished thing's going to look like without all those pins in there. If I can get this all stitched down. I'm going to start with this 3-strand embroidery floss. And maybe I'll wish I had used some sewing thread. But we'll see. I come up in the corner. And go down. I'm going to try not to go through the back. Just going to try to keep it without going through the back. And I'm just going to see if I can stitch it down. I'm going to try to stitch this down to the centerpiece without going through the back. I'll see how that works. Ouch. Just taking running stitches. And it is kind of hard to stitch through because this backing fabric was a very heavy fabric. I didn't think about using something else because it matched my colors so well. But it is pretty stiff to stitch through. Especially when it's folded over twice. Let's see if I can go down into that corner now. Oops, caught on my needle. I got caught on my pin. Alright, we made that one. Hopefully it's stitched down and it didn't go through the back. And we'll keep trying to go around doing that. Just gonna go in here. Once more, try to catch that corner. Probably would be easier to go through the back, but I just don't want the thread to show up. Caught on a pin again. And we're at another corner. So far, so good. That one's okay. So hopefully it's going to work. Got 2 done. And I'm going to continue doing this and I will be back. Okay, well, I got it finished. And I'm quite happy with it. it wasn't too difficult going around the edges, and I think I got one stitch through the back, but it really doesn't show. And so I'm happy that I finished it. It was a fun project to do. I'm not sure I would do another one, but maybe someday when I get better at stitching. Even though my stitches were kind of wonky and a little off kilter from what I was trying to do, I think they ended up pretty. So anyway, I like it, and that's all that matters. So I hope to see you again next week for week 27 of the Slow Stitch with K3N. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Leave a comment or give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.